Howdy lovelies, how are you all doing? Welcome back to our crafting, where we learn, grow and craft together. In today's session, I want to continue with that beautiful print of the butterfly that I've done with the Distress Watercolor pencils. I want to use that and change it into a tag. I now have this focus of using what I make when I show you things to then create some of my makes. So, without further ado, let's get started. As you all know, I never have a plan. I just want to use this. I want to make a tag, but that's how far I am. I want to just bend this a little bit, the way that they are stored in the box. I bought a few in bulk of these great big manila tags. They're 4 by 8 inches, and they are an amazing size to work with. I do sometimes also use the smaller ones. This one is all wrinkled because I've done ink smooshing with it. I also have this size that is much smaller. So let's see. This needs to be fuzzy cuts, and then we can start with this. So either or. Let's start with the background first. I'm thinking of using some old book pages. I used some the other day for the other mixed media tag. I don't want the discolored ones. I would just like to use some, they're all vintage, but I would love to use some whiter pages. Whiter in the sense that lighter. Let's do this one. Still yellow, still whatever. White would have been better. I think I like the whiter color, which is more white, this one. I don't have a white sheet. I do have some book pages, but let's just do this. I'm thinking to add this now to the tag, just with normal glue. Could have used whatever glue you have. It can be liquid glue, it can be glue stick. It really truly is up to you what glue you want to use. You can use your adhesive of choice. Could have been large medium, could have been Mod Podge. It really literally could have been anything. I'm going to just put that on there, not worrying about ends. That can be used in clusters, which is something that I need to work on because my scrubbing is really filling up slowly but surely. And I'll use my bone folder, the scoring tool, and just scrape out that extra glue from there. I don't want the mess all over, it gluing everywhere. That should be fine. Now there's a bit, let's just erase it before it is truly dry, because once it's dry, it's stuck there forever. Now there we have that. So let's trim this quickly, just real soon. Somebody asked me the other day, do I really keep every piece of paper? No, I don't. I actually don't. If I know I am going to work on something, I know my bin is getting full, but I know I don't have enough in my scrubbing, I will keep this for when I am making clusters or I am doing a masterboard. Then I will be using this. Will I keep this one today? Yes, I will. Why? Because I'm working on clusters soon enough. So I will be utilizing that. I do not keep every tiny little bit of paper. You cannot possibly keep it all. You will not be able to keep up with it all if you keep it. So if you work with it straight away, you have a project in the next day or so. If you think about keeping it for next time, no, just rather put it in the dustbin. So there's our background covered. What I want to do now is I think I want to go ahead and do a bit of stamping. Plan, do I have a plan yet? No, actually I don't. All I know is I want to make a tag and I want to use this butterfly as the focal point. Now you will see it's a bit bigger than this, and it's fine. I've learned to actually don't mind things hanging off. If you're going to post it to somebody, it will be an issue. If you want to put it in a standard envelope or so, then it will be a problem. Then I would suggest you rather just trim a part of it off or something. You can always just, you can make 2 tags for one if you trim it in half and just use one in whatever. But I want to use this whole butterfly. How it's going to turn out, I have absolutely no idea. And it's all good. It's all good. What do I have here next to me? I've got the set, which is that stamp that I used for the butterfly. I'm thinking, and I used that the other day in another, well, some time ago now, in this this stamp. I've done like a pink and purple one with another butterfly, which is from the specimen set. See how that butterfly is trying to climb off now? Let's do this one. I think, let's see, I have no idea what I want to have on here. Like really. I also got this Flutter with all, and there's a miniature one of that. I would have loved to have one that is just a tiny little bit bigger than this one, maybe like that size, that can fit in there, like a medium one, and a smaller one. That's just me. That's just me. So don't worry about me. It's just my musings thinking it would have been awesome. So let's see. I think let's do, we already have one with points, so I want to think to that one, and maybe another one, and maybe half of that. Okay, let's see where this is taking us. I'm going to do this in archival and in black. Just stamping this up, not the complete stamp, because I don't want the complete stamp. I want parts of it. Some of it needs to be very prominent, like this one. So I will press really hard on it, not wanting to lift it, and seeing that I'm not using a block, I need to just make sure. And then I want maybe a bit there. Let's get a tiny something so I don't stamp with permanent ink on, oh, this side, silly. There we have it. Very modern, very modern. I kind of like that. All right, so let's put that one back. Now on this too, I need to just more or less get a visual, like maybe so. For this, however, I will be using a stamp block. If I can just lay my fingers on one. Just going to ink that up, moving this a bit. It's easier, really stamping. It's much easier with a block, but it's not always feasible. So I'm going to stamp this one there. Wait, not again, not again. I almost now stamped this twice, but maybe let's do it there, but just half a one. I almost stamped this one now twice, which was definitely not the intention. Ink this one up nicely. And yes, once you stamp your stamps up with archival ink, they kind of really stain. The others you can still try and clean it over time. Let's do it there. And why so much black? I don't know, because this is maybe quite vibrant. So let's see, let's see. Going to just place this back. Now, what else? What else do we want to do? A play. It really is sometimes hard for me to remember that I am recording and I should actually verbalize my thoughts, because I might quiet down and think about this by myself without saying what is my next step. And it's all good, it's all fine, but I don't think everybody will know what is going on. So let's see. I've got a few Tim Holtz stencils here. Like you can see, I never hardly ever clean my stamps. Let's put that one side. I like the circles. I'm going to keep that one for a reason. And this will not work. We don't want numbers there like that. Cogs will not work. I wonder where's my other stencils. This one is the one that I used the other day for the pink and purple tag. Oh, it's beautiful. That can work. And I kind of like this as well. So what I want to do is maybe use this one just a little bit. I'm going to add Distress Texture Paste again. Same old thing, don't take too much. You can rather get again than taking too much at the first time, because you can't put it back into the jar. Well, at least Tim doesn't suggest that. Why did I take that thing away now? Let's put it down again, just so that we are covered here. Going to add a little bit of texture paste. You don't want to slap it on like you would ice a cake, but you definitely do want to see the texture. I'm going to just scrape that and add a little bit there. And you can see that it is changing color because of the color on the stencil. There we have that one. So I'm going to just get that off already. See how it disintegrates if you touch it while it's still wet. But it's a different ball game when this is dry. And I want to add a bit, maybe here. Not sure yet where, what, how. Let's do that there, just because we can. That is truly something I had to learn to do, is not to overthink. Just do it. Just do it. It's just paper after all. But for the life of me, I can still not do things that do not fit. I cannot add colors that do not fit. I cannot add themes that's not fitting. I can't. That is just a no-no for me. I'm looking at people that are way more free with their crafting and journaling, especially the junk journaling part. And I'm amazed. I truly am amazed. Now remember, these things need to be washed immediately. I don't have a tub of water with me, so I'll be back within a minute or so. The Distress Texture Paste really dries very quickly. There's still a little bit that I can feel, but it does not take long because I do not put it too thick on here. There are parts that's standing up there. I just want to, it's part of the beauty, but I just like to scrape that off. So let's see. Next step. I am thinking we need still a sentiment, and I want to see what's here. I've got some. Let me just take I've got this, which is from his Stuff to Say set. Every possibility begins with the courage to imagine. Experience is not what happens to you, it's what you do with what happens to you. What if your fears and your dreams exist in the same place? You would still go there. Would you still go there? Life is what happens to us while we are making other plans. Now here's also quite a bit here, which is really beautiful. The heart has its reasons, of which reason knows nothing. I think I will use that one, just because we can. Now, we also have this beauty and simplicity. Live your dream with passion. Replace fear of the unknown with curiosity. I think I'll stick with the one that I have chosen already. Now, let's see. I want to just change this quickly. I normally just change my domes. I might decide to use that one just for a bit of color. Okay, let me leave that one. And then I'll go to this one rather. Take that off. So the one is Cracked Pistachio and the other is Salvaged Patina. So, as there is a bit of picked raspberry in there and seedless preserve, some blue greens, I would want to just add a bit of picked raspberry. And I'll stick to the numbers theme, just because we can. Now let's see if I can get a number that's standing out for me. Not quite, but it's okay. Not quite. Let's do that at the bottom. Where is that packaging material of mine? You can see the poor little half a butterfly there. I can't seem to make up my mind there. I'll just close the other. Go a bit there. Don't exactly want the numbers that is on there, to be quite honest. Let's do this. I'll do this. Now I must just be careful. And I did put a bit of that there, but let's camouflage that. And I think I want to put that out there. Now this needs to be, I want any of the other numbers. So let me just grab a post-it note, and I'll have to keep that. And I just colored the rest of it on the other side, not even thinking about it. Look at that smash there now, which is sad, really, really, really sad. Too sad, indeed, too sad. So worried about not stenciling the other color, numbers, but I now smeared that pink on there. So we've got a little bit of pink there, and this side. Now I'm going to go over into, I think I want a bit of green, and then we will focus on the Salvaged Patina. Of course, there's a bit of green also in that butterfly. I think I want to just add a bit of that now. Again, I need to be careful. I just want to wipe the pink off here. Just use a baby wipe, wet wipe. Just remove most of that color, because I don't want it on the green though. So let's see. So this is Cracked Pistachio S in Distress Oxide. Again, those little post-it notes, so that they can save the day, not mess this up again. And now it doesn't want to stay there anymore. So very light green. Don't want to. There. And then we'll take one there at the bottom, maybe one in a bit. Do one there. Bit of that green, not too much. Now here I want to just get that there, and another one this side. Of course, I really just want one there. And look, I moved it now. There we have that. It's like this light minty green color. Just a repeat of that, not too much, because I want the focus on our butterfly. Now before we carry on, before we can do anything else, I'm going to also have to just clean this stencil. I'm going to use that one so that can go one side, because this has got some yeah, vintage photo on it. This is starting to dry up a little bit, but I should still be able to wipe away most of the color. There's a piece of fluff. All right, now Salvaged Patina, where are you? There, let's go. I did dip this one in a bit of pink, but it's fine. Somewhere along the line, I got this confused. Color there, right. I think we're getting somewhere. I want to stamp this in black archival, so I'm going to just stamp it there, or maybe this side. Both sides are equally big. Now it's got a bit of ink on the side, so let's do it on the other side. Hold your ink pad upright, level, in other words. Don't tilt it, because then you're going to have ink in places where you don't want that. That's a whole lot better, and we can trim that. Now before we do anything, I'm going to just do that. I think it's time for me to actually fuzzy cut the butterfly. And there's also ink on the corner now. And that's partly why my fingers are always so full of ink, is because it's on the stem blocks. On the stem blocks. So this is going to take a while to fuzzy cut. I think I will have to just do a very faint white edge around this. Would have been lovely to have a die cut to go with this set. Well, most of them. To have that option would have been lovely. If it becomes too difficult for you, snap it off, and then you can start with a smaller piece. It really doesn't take a lot of effort. It does take a bit of time. The more you practice, the easier it will become for you to fuzzy cut your things. I tend to mumble when I'm not concentrating. I realized that the other day as well. I was busy with some task while I was recording, and well, I didn't know at the time. I only realized afterwards when I was editing, make sure there aren't any uncomfortable silences and things like that. And once I have the tail, the wingtails done, I will return to the top to then just finish this part, which is now a whole lot easier because at this time I do not want to cut off the antennae. I'll leave it there because I keep this little white edge right around, so it's not too difficult to cut out. If the white edge is not your thing, by all means, you can completely cut it out without the white edge. And there we have that. So that was done perfectly well. Now this, as you can hear, crumbling it up, so I will be throwing it in the dustbin. Putting this together now, let's see how much space we have, what is needed. There we have that. I think that is awesome. It needs a bit of color still. So before we add this, and it actually fits on the tag, just we can move it a little bit off center or more to this side. We're going to play a little bit. So I want to take some Distress Oxide Reinkers. They are very potent. And you can hear there's that little bowl in the bottom. That is to mix the pigment. Of course, the oxides are pigment based, unlike the Distress inks. That's not pigment based. So let's start. It's like following a maze here now. And I'm going to tap it so that it can run a little bit more. And there we have that one, just the color of it. I just love it. Maybe another one. Now to guide it next to the texture paste. I'm going to tap this. Remember the vanilla tag is cardstock, so it is kind of, there we go. I kind of like that look. I would like to bring in a little bit more of the Salvaged Patina. So for this side, I'm going, oi, look at that. Look at that. I just spilled it all over. Imagine I had spilled that on my project where I don't want it. So after the the Salvaged Patina splash, let's just put a few drops here. And I want a bit more. So I'm going to just let it run and do its thing. Now this just, wait, my hands are now completely full. I touched the wet oxide, so this just needs to dry for a moment or so. And while that dries, I just want to see, that should be fine. Still just have to just trim this, so I'm going to do the same thing. Just fuzzy cut this, more or less, around the text. I still have green on my finger. Probably from where I've touched it. There we go. That's sorted. Luckily I can trim it. This just needs to dry a little bit, and while it's drying, I see there's a bit of glue on there. It's still quite wet, really still quite wet. I still want to bring in a bit of black though. I feel it needs a little bit something more, but let's wait for this to dry. The ink is really still a little bit wet. I think it's okay. I think it should be fine. Let's see, you can see the shine of it here and there still, but let's continue. I want a piece of black. I need a tiny bit of black. God, the scrubbing always proves to be helpful in situations like this, where we need a tiny bit. When we use the glue just now, that's what I reach for when I want everything over. Going to just glue this down using glue stick. You can use whatever you want to use, your preferred glue, whatever that choice is for adhesive. It depends on where you are situated and what is available to you. I'm going to fuzzy cut this again, just making sure this is adhered properly while we still give that paint a bit of time to dry. And I did now put a bit of glue on the side, so that will show up on the black. Again, just going to give a little bit of a border around that when we fuzzy cut it. Remember, when we fuzzy cut, we move our paper and not necessarily our scissors, right? Scissors barely move. And when I say move, I mean the blades. Find a way that works for you, that makes it easy on your wrist. So let's see, how's this going? Still a bit dry with there's some splotches, but let's see. Don't want to cover that completely, but let's go. All right, I want a bit of black on here as well. Well, let's keep the butterfly out of the way. This is Distress ink Reinker. This could have been easily done with just not bump that ink over, with a paint pen or something of similar sort. Should have done that also earlier, so that it had time to dry. Where else do we want? Don't want too much. I don't want to press it so that it empties, because then we will have this big blotch of paint, ink all over. Let's see if this will work. Let's try something. Bit of water might work. 2 drops of ink in the water. Let's see. It's making this wonderful big bubble now. And this is black soot. Oh, I now got ink also on my finger. Oh, my finger's completely black. Yes, it will wash off, but the problem is we might just get it onto our projects, and that we don't want. I'm going to dab. I might just mess up my project. So there's a bit of water, maybe too much water. Maybe too much water. I wonder if I should not rather just take a little cap and just put a bit of water in there. Let's see if this will work. We can rather clean that up. And yes, there's a big mess all over. Right, I think that's a whole lot better. I just want to wipe this off quickly. The little droplets of Distress ink is still wet, and I'm getting a little bit impatient. So I'm going to dab with this paper towel, just like that. I'm folding this in, and then I'll dab those ones on top. Don't want to double dip there, because then I will have imprints on it. This one, just so that we can get some of that ink absorbed. And there too, maybe change that. There. There we go. All right, just going to wave this about, and then it should be dry within a second or so. Now we're going to add our little, well, not so little, but as form of endearment, butterfly, and our sentiment. So I just want to maybe do that. See where we want this. I like this, but it's very small. Really a bit small. Too small, I guess. Let's do another one. I'll just keep this for a different day. Just a different day. Do we still have? I have. I was testing this the other day. So I'm going to stamp there and then just do the same thing and mount it onto black. Just want to get this just a little bit of a bigger. Would the stamp look better? I guess it would. It's always much better, right? And I know I'm out of view. Let's see if I can move this forward without lifting the stamp. And I seared it, probably when I moved it. I have another piece of scrap here. Let's do it this side. I have these black marks all over my nails now. And that's better. Not moving the stamp helps. Trust me, it helps. All right, we're going to do the same process. Just snapping that off so it's out of the way. And for this, again, black piece of scrap. Let's attach that, and the glue was open for quite some time, so it's going to go on a bit thicker, and then soon enough it should glide on properly. A bit of extra glue there on my fingernail, but let's just, there we go. Just want to scrape that glue off, otherwise everything will stick. Another card, and every time I wipe, I do wipe some glue on there. This will dry. Let's fuzzy cut that quickly, and then we can finish off this tag. So that one is fuzzy cut. Now we can add this. Some liquid glue, I think, would do the trick. Do we want this one beveled? I'm just thinking, do I want this layered or not? I want a bit of dimension, so I'll just glue it in the middle. The little antennae, as that. I'll put a bit of glue there, just closest to the body. And then let's just add it there. This is quite big now, so we need to put it there or there. The cap, we need the cap. Just roll it on there, just so that it's got that bit of dimension. See how wet is that oxide ink reinker still? That was almost. I don't want to close this texture paste here, so I think I will put that there. I like the look of that, truly like it. And then just grabbing a Posca pen, making sure the ink is flowing. And it's ready. We're going to just add a bit of pink this side. Very faint, very faint. We don't want it overwhelmingly bright. Just tiny little bits. And there we can maybe make a few circles like that. Here where there's a space, I'll just turn it around. This ink is still wet here. Just want to add maybe 1, 2 there more, and on the edge. But I do want to just bring in a bit of lime green, because we've got a bit of lime green in there. So a bit of blue, more or less a mixture between that. Just wait, that's too much. See, that's why you do this on a scrap piece. This paint seems a bit. It keeps running now. I wonder why. That's strange for this type of pen. I've never had that with a pen. Why today? I don't want to touch. Bit of blue. I'll repeat it here. It feels as if this is lifting up. It is indeed. And look what I just did. I tapped so hard it started leaking again. I just want to quickly dab this paint this very softly, truly softly. Just want to see if I can get a bit of green in here as well. Not much, not overwhelming, just to have a bit of those colors in there. That's what I feel like. And I don't like this lot of black at the bottom, so I'll just add a bit of green there. And I think that is our tag. It still is wet, so I have to give it time to dry. Otherwise this will really smear and smudge. But there is our tag. You can see that is still wet, so it will take some time to dry. Probably added way too much. Probably added way too much ink, way more than is needed. Let's just put a bit of glue underneath here where it's lifting up while I remember, and we can have that fixed as well. Seeing that there's still wet acrylic paint as well. And there is our beautiful mixed media tag, which was a lovely play. Thank you for joining me. Go try and make some sort of a mixed media tag for yourself. And if you do, please tag Wawa Crafting on social media. If you want to see more content like this, give me a thumbs up so that I can share my videos with more people. As always, I'll be appreciating it if you subscribe to my channel too. And if you haven't done so yet, hit that notification bell so that you can be notified whenever I upload new content. See you back soon. Goodbye.